Consuming knowledgeable content. Where do you get your facts from? Is it from your local news station on TV? Is it from your Instagram feed? Or maybe you subscribe to an online newspaper that sends you bi-weekly stories in your smart device. Regardless of your circumstance, you use these platforms to know what is going on outside your front door. In media literacy, knowing who makes the news, understanding the many sides of an argument, and blocking out the us versus them mentality helps you distinguish the facts from the opinions and from the lies. The history of the mainstream. Before the social networking boom in the late 2000s, people got their news sources from quote-unquote the media. Also known as mainstream media, these outlets hire professionals who pursued a degree in journalism and ethical integrity. Basically, these journalists and news anchors had to tell the news without bias and be representative of his or her audience, becoming a check on political power. Although we had the freedom of expression and protection of the press in the United States guaranteed by the First Amendment, some critics of the media see the mainstream media is controlled not by small independent news corporations. Rather, they are owned by large media firms entangled with larger conglomerates who have deep ties in the political system. For those of you who don't know, the big news companies in TV like CNN, NBC, and ABC are actually owned by large corporations like AT&T, Comcast, and Walt Disney Company. Who knew that Mickey controlled the news, huh? Some other news companies are owned by large big-name families. For example, the Murdoch family have strong ties with both the New York Post and Fox News, while the famed Washington Post is owned by none other than Jeff Bezos himself, the then CEO of Amazon. This is important to note because we as consumers have to understand that a large number of these media conglomerates see news, as Noam Chomsky puts it, an endgame to profit. Critical journalism takes the second to financial needs of these corporations. One large example of this concept of needs is an investigative story on Big Tobacco in 60 Minutes in the 90s. CBS News Productions, owned then by Westinghouse Corporation at the time, censored the story due to various suits and legal threats from big tobacco companies to not publish their findings. It took 6 months later for CBS to give an apology to the public and publish the full story on 60 Minutes. Moral of this story: know who you get your news from and see how each side takes on a particular story.